Hello, my dear friend. Welcome back to Peak English. Today, we are going to do something profoundly different. In our previous videos, we practiced together. We repeated sentences. We drilled vocabulary. But today, I am not going to ask you to repeat after me. Today, I am going to ask you to do something much harder, yet much more rewarding. I want you to listen. I want you to think. And most importantly, I want you to open your mind to a new way of understanding language. If you have clicked on this video, I believe I understand something very deep about your journey. You have likely been studying English for a long time, perhaps months, perhaps even years. You have spent countless hours memorizing vocabulary lists. You have studied complex grammar rules in textbooks. When you read a story in English, or when you watch a video with subtitles, you understand almost everything. However, despite all of your hard work, despite all of your dedication, there is a painful wall that you cannot seem to break through. When you try to speak, something unfortunate happens. The words get stuck in your throat. Your mind goes blank. You feel a sudden wave of nervousness or anxiety. You find yourself translating every single sentence from your native language into English in your head before you dare to say it out loud. And when you finally do speak, it does not sound the way you want it to. It feels heavy. It feels slow. It feels unnatural. Does this sound like your story? If the answer is yes, please know that you are not alone. Millions of intelligent, hardworking students around the world feel exactly the same frustration. They are trapped in what we call the silent period, or the intermediate plateau. But I have wonderful news for you today. The problem is not your intelligence. The problem is not your memory. The problem is not that you are bad at languages. The problem is simply your method. For years, traditional education has taught us to learn English primarily with our eyes. We read books. We look at the whiteboard. We write essays. But language is not a visual art. Language is a physical act. It is living sound, meant for the ears and the mouth. Today, I am going to hand you the missing key. The bridge that finally connects what you know in your head to what you speak with your mouth. This technique is called shadowing. This video is designed to be the most important 15 minutes of your English learning journey. I am going to explain exactly why you have struggled in the past and how shadowing will set you free. So please, make yourself comfortable. Close the door, turn off your notifications, take a deep breath, and let us explore the art of shadowing together. Before we discuss the technique itself, we must understand the enemy we are fighting. Why is it so difficult to move from the A2 level, where you understand basic English, to the B1 or B2 level, where you speak fluently? The answer lies in the difference between passive knowledge and active skill. Right now, your brain is like a library. It is full of English words and rules. This is your passive knowledge. You can recognize these words when you see them. But your mouth has not been invited to the library. Speaking English is a physical sport. It involves complex coordination between your tongue, your lips, your jaw, your breath, and your vocal cords. Think about it this way. If you wanted to learn how to play the piano, would you just read books about piano theory? Would you just watch videos of other people playing the piano? Of course not. You would know where the notes are, but your fingers would not know how to move. Your fingers would lack muscle memory. The same is true for English. Your mouth has muscles, just like your legs or your arms. For your entire life, your mouth muscles have been trained to move in the patterns of your native language. English requires your mouth to move in completely different ways. It requires different tongue positions, different rhythms, and different vibrations. When you are at the A2 level, your brain is ready, but your mouth is weak. Your mouth is uncoordinated. When you try to speak, your brain has to send manual instructions to your mouth for every single word. This is why you speak slowly. This is why you translate in your head. Shadowing is the gym for your mouth. It is the physical workout that forces your tongue to move in these new, unfamiliar ways until it becomes automatic. Shadowing bridges the gap between the intellectual brain and the physical body. It teaches your nervous system that English is not something you study on a page. It is something you perform with your body. So what exactly is shadowing? Many people mistakenly think it is just repeating after the teacher. They listen, they pause the audio, and then they say the sentence. That is a good exercise, but that is not shadowing. Repeating is passive. You have time to think. You have time to analyze. True shadowing is active and simultaneous. Imagine a shadow on a sunny day. When you walk down the street, your shadow moves exactly when you move. It does not wait 5 seconds. It does not hesitate. It moves in perfect synchronization with you. In the shadowing technique, you listen to a native speaker and you speak along with them at the same time. Or perhaps, just a tiny fraction of a second later, you become their acoustic shadow. You inhabit their voice. You are not just copying the words. You are copying the soul of the sentence. You must copy their speed. If they speak fast, you push yourself to speak fast. If they slow down, you slow down. You must copy their emotion. If they sound excited, you must sound excited. If they sound serious, you must sound serious. You must copy their melody. English is a musical language. It goes up and down in pitch. Shadowing teaches you this music. When you practice in this specific way, you are not giving your brain time to translate. You are overloading your brain with auditory information, which forces it to stop translating and start processing the sounds directly. You are essentially downloading the native speaker's accent and rhythm directly into your nervous system. You are tricking your brain into believing that you are the one speaking fluently, and eventually, with enough practice, that belief becomes your reality. Now that you understand the philosophy and the science, let's talk about the practice. How do you do it correctly? Many beginners try shadowing and give up because they find it too difficult. They try to shadow fast news reports or movies, and they get frustrated. To succeed, you need a system. I have developed a 4-step process specifically for beginners and intermediate learners. Step 1. The deep listen. Before you open your mouth, you must open your ears. Choose a short audio clip, maybe just 1 or 2 minutes long. It should be slow, clear English, like the videos on this channel. Do not look at the text yet. Just listen. Close your eyes. Absorb the sounds. Try to understand the meaning deeply. Feel the emotion of the speaker. You must understand what you are going to say before you say it. Step 2. The analysis. Now, open the transcript or turn on the subtitles. Read the text while listening to the audio again. Look for anything you don't understand. Look up new words. Check the pronunciation of difficult words. You cannot shadow confidently if you are confused about the meaning. Step 3. The mumble or the whisper. This is the secret step that most people miss. Play the audio again. Look at the text. As you listen, try to move your mouth and whisper the words along with the speaker. Do not use your full voice yet. Just mumble quietly. Why do we do this? Because speaking loudly is pressure. Mumbling takes the pressure away. It allows your tongue to practice the complex movements without the stress of making a perfect sound. Focus entirely on the rhythm and the flow. If you miss a word, don't worry. Just keep the rhythm going. Step 4. The full shadow. This is the final stage. Play the audio again. This time speak out loud. Try to speak at the exact same time as the speaker. Match their speed perfectly. Imagine you are singing a duet with them. You are one voice. When you do this, do not stop if you make a mistake. Do not go back to correct yourself. The river of language keeps flowing, and you must flow with it. This trains your brain to recover quickly from mistakes, which is a vital skill for fluency. Why should you dedicate your precious time and energy to this specific technique? What is the reward at the end of this journey? The transformation is profound. First, your pronunciation will change forever. When you study with a textbook, you are guessing how a word sounds. When you shadow, you are not guessing. You are mimicking reality. Your brain stops trying to pronounce English words using the rules of your native language. You start producing the true, authentic sounds of English because you are mimicking them in real time. Second, your intonation becomes natural. One of the biggest signs of a non-native speaker is a flat or robotic voice. Shadowing teaches you the music of English. You will learn where to pause, where to emphasize, and how to use your pitch to convey emotion. You will start to sound like a human being, not a textbook. Third, your listening skills will become incredibly sharp. Because you have to mimic every sound, you begin to hear details you never noticed before. You will hear the soft ending sounds, the connecting sounds between words, and the weak forms of grammar. Your ears will tune into the frequency of English. Fourth, and perhaps most importantly, you will gain unshakable confidence. There is something magical about hearing your own voice speaking English fluently, even if you are just shadowing. When you hear yourself speaking long, complex sentences with perfect rhythm, it changes your self-image. It proves to your subconscious mind that you are capable of speaking this language. It removes the fear of the unknown. My dear friend, we are coming to the end of our session. Knowledge is potential power, but action is real power. Knowing about shadowing will not change your English. Doing it will. I challenge you to build a small daily habit. You do not need hours of free time. You just need 15 minutes of focused practice every day. Find a time that belongs to you. Maybe it is in the morning, to wake up your brain before the day begins. Maybe it is in the car on your way to work. Maybe it is in the evening as a way to relax before sleep. Create a ritual. Put on your headphones. Close the door. This is your private time to transform yourself. There will be days when you feel tired. There will be days when your tongue trips over the words and you feel foolish. That is completely normal. On those days, be kind to yourself. Just do 5 minutes. Just show up. Consistency is the secret to mastery. This video is your guide. Save it to your playlist. Come back to it whenever you feel lost or discouraged. Let it remind you of why you started and how to proceed. You have the power to change your voice. You have the power to connect with the world. It starts with one sentence. It starts with one shadow. Thank you for trusting me with your time today. I believe in you. I know that if you follow this path, if you trust the process, you will achieve the fluency you dream of. I am Amelia, and this is Peak English. Go out there, find your shadow, and find your voice. I will see you in the next practice session. Goodbye.